Hello, hello, hello. You all come in, hit the like, hit the share button. A lot of things happening right now with the economy, starting out with President Biden and the Supreme Court. Okay, let me see. Okay, I had a little background, but the Supreme Court rejecting, right, student loan repayment. So there's really no surprise. Once the debt ceiling was raised, it included in the debt ceiling, along with the natural gas pipeline, was the repayment of student loans would begin back in August. So I definitely hope that you all are that have student loans repayment are positioned and ready for those repayments to kick back in. Unfortunately, what some people do is they just take more classes and reboot the process and try to kick the can down the road. But at some point, you're going to have to pay the piper, and you're going to have to start back paying those student loans. So that's that on that. Hello, Miss Deborah. Thank you for coming in and saying hello. And on that note as well, you all that's coming in, come in, say hello, and drop your city and state. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Let me know what part of the world you are tuning in from, what part of the world you are representing. Also, this is another interesting news in the economy. Failed promises. Black Californians may soon get reparations. What will they be owed? My thing is, why just California blacks? Right? Nice earrings though. She got the earrings, the African earrings on. Let's listen in on this short clip. It's only 1 minute long, so let's listen in about the reparations in blacks. North Carolina, okay, Miss Howard represent North Carolina. We got Lee, aka Les Brown, and again, you all drop your city and state. Let me know what part of the world you are tuning in from, and I want to make sure that I have my audio connected as we listen in on the video, the failed promises, black reparations. Let's see what's being said here.
When? What do we want? When?
The time has come. America must step up. It's not just the well-being of people of African ancestry that is on the line. It is the very heart and soul of this country. If America is to be who she professes to be, then she has to do the right thing.
Laws of this nation affected every state and many places beyond the state. And so it was important that we let people know that reparations is due whether you're in Mississippi or you're in California, that reparations is due, that the harm has been done, and we need to begin to repair the harm and stop patching it up as we have done for many, many years.
Interesting. That's very interesting. Hello, and thank you for being a Patreon member. I greatly appreciate it. Washington, D.C., I think did we have a Zoom like 2 weeks ago? Thank you for tuning in again, and thank you for being a Patreon member. Hello to you. I wish all is well to you as well. So let's talk about this reparations right now. California is pushing it. I'm glad they included the state of Mississippi. Such drastic things happened during slavery, and I've been saying since I've been live streaming and doing my podcast or broadcast, whatever you want to call it, is I never understood why during Obama administration that he and Biden agreed, as Biden was the vice president at that time, to give reparations to Jews in the amount of millions, and Obama never pushed the issue. I've also been saying for some years that I do believe black reparations will happen as a part of this great reset. I really believe that it will happen. And now we have the conversation. My only thing is, as I believe the cash currency system is completely going to be done away with in a couple of years, is will those who get those reparations, first you're going to have to prove that your family was a product of slavery. I don't think they're going to just give it to everybody that because you're in the black or brown community. However, I don't know how they did it with the Jews, right? So I'm assuming that you would have to prove that your family was a product of slavery, right? After that, that is proven, and you get out cash, which is losing its purchasing power, is depreciating in the value as we see inflation coming up. This final report, dozens of recommendations for state lawmakers. What do you all think? Do you all think black people, descendants of slaves from the black and brown community, deserve reparations like the Jews, like Obama administration approved for Jewish um, descendants? So the task force recommendations includes going beyond cash payments for individuals. Again, this is for those who are eligible, right? And so it would go past cash payments. Is calling for sweeping policy changes to compensate Black Californians and longstanding harms and loss of generational wealth. I've been emphasizing that, pushing that generational wealth brought by state policies that have led to housing discrimination, over policies, over politicizing and mass incarceration. Definitely, that should be addressed. The valuation of African American businesses. We can just go back to Black Wall Street. We don't even have to go back to the early 1900s of slavery, right? The valuation of African American businesses, unjust property seizures, and among other harms. Members of the Black Task Force emphasized Thursday the long-standing consequences of the nation's enslavement of Black people lingers across the state, right? And so what do we want reparations is the cry that's going on now. I totally wholeheartedly agree about this. Again, I hope that it definitely widespreads beyond Californians. We're not even talking about the lives of ancestors and the lynchings and all of that that's happened, the brutal, taking of their lives and brutal and harsh treatment of the rapings and feeding to alligators and taking a black male and splitting his body open between two horses that's going east and west. So many harsh ramifications, traumatizations from slavery, and not including that the United States of America has gotten rich and wealthy, superior wealth from free labor, from the sweat and the cruel, inhumane treatment of slavery. So I'm all for it. I hope that that definitely gets done. But again, this is why I've been telling you all to stay afloat, to pay your attention on the economic times, why times are changing, why now, and to get prepared. In fact, I was a little disappointed in my live stream last night on the Titanic, because I did not go as deep as I wanted to go about the Titanic 111th year anniversary. I went into 1111, more of the numbers and the detail, but I failed to bring out that this is just symbolism of a wealth transfer. And this is because as we celebrate this year, April the 15th, the exact 111th anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic. And after much research, I found out that many survivors never said that that ship hit an iceberg. The survivors' testimony was there was a large implosion or a large burst, right? Explosion as well. And it was a fire within the ship, and the speed was increased simultaneously. From the testimonies, it was never what sunk the Titanic was an iceberg. But my point of bringing this back to your attention, right? Because you have to study the past to understand the future, the present. Study the past to understand what's about to unfold in the present. After the Titanic ship, J.P. Morgan, you've heard of that name. If you heard of J.P. Morgan and Chase Banking Institution, yeah, give me a second. I had something on my laptop. J.P. Morgan Banking Institution was supposed to board the Titanic at the very last minute. He did not. He also removed some of his precious artwork that was included, anything of asset and value. And many people that were JP Morgan's opposition, those people that were in the banking industry, those people that were rich and wealthy, boarded the Titanic. And years after the crash, the birthing of the Federal Reserve happened. Now you talk about, having a situation that's just a perfect storm to bring in the Federal Reserve. And then after the Federal Reserve was brought in and established, let me make sure I have my dates correct. Because if you don't work with numbers in your head, I know if you're a math teacher or accountant, you might say, yeah, I understand math. But when you understand math to teach history, the Federal Reserve Act came in the year or was established in 1913, people. 1913. The Titanic, April 15th, ship was taken down, the ship sinking in 1912, 1 year, just 1 year. 1 year. Um, 1 year. So you have the Rothschilds and all of those 111 years. And then the next year we have the Federal Reserve. The people that would have not agreed with the Federal Reserve, many was just so happened to be on that ship. And then years after 1913, followed the Great Depression. So what I would have liked to bring out was that the wealth transfer happened during the Great Depression. It happened on 9/11 because there was over $500 million of silver and gold buried underneath the rubble of the Twin Towers. And there were three. I talked about three. Talked about the Trinity. Well, I talked about the number three that you hear, three cadence. If you ever want to repeat a name 3 times to bring in like Candyman or something like that, they tell you just to say it 3 times, right? The power of three cadence, the power of three in repetition, the power of three in children's riddles, three blind mice, three little pigs. So, three of the wealthiest men were on the creation, that were against the creation of the Federal Reserve Bank, happened to be invited aboard to the Titanic. And so that was a wealth transfer. When 1913, the Federal Reserve was established, that was an official wealth transfer. In 1933, during the Great Depression, that was another wealth transfer, right? During 9/11, during 1980s, the black stock market crash, the biggest so far on record, that was a wealth transfer. 2008, the housing market crash, that was a wealth transfer. So the Titanic attracted many prominent names, and it was also known to be called or dubbed the Millionaire Special. And so again, the three men that was against the Federal Reserve unfortunately lost their lives. And so this is 1913. You have President Woodrow Wilson, who signed the Federal Reserve law into act. And this was the creation of a decentralized system that balances and checks and balances in private banks. Now another decentralized system is coming into play in 2023. So with that being said, you all, as TD Jakes would say in the cadence of 3 times, get ready, get ready, get ready. most people are not getting ready. They are listening, right? But they're not getting ready. Hello to you, Monifa. Hello to you. I prefer to be called sis if you want to address me in the feminine aspect. I really don't. And it may be a Mississippi thing where it was disrespectful during civil rights and slavery to address an adult by girl or a boy, a man by boy. So I have a little pet peeves about being saying called a girl, but I do know that you did not mean it with that intent. So hello to you. You can say sis, you can say queen. That's just my pet peeves that I want to make people aware of. But hello to you. Thank you. And I'm so glad you did not take that personal. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you did not take that personal. A lot of people take it personal, but I just explained, right? I just explained. Federal Reserve Powell says inflation is not returning to 2% this year or next, suggesting investors should prepare for more interest rates hike. In other words, no more cheap prices. Prepare for interest rates hikes, according to Federal Chairman Jerome Powell. Also says it may be 2025. I don't even think it's going to be 2025 that we'll see 2% inflation. This suggests that central banks' fight against inflation is far from over. Now, I shared a live stream yesterday showing you the banks that's going to be affected by this new currency system. And let's lead into this with Fed now, keeping you updated. The Fed is saying that 57 firms will use Fed now as well. This is happening, people. July 1st will be tomorrow. Will be tomorrow. So late June, the launch of Fed Now will come into play, will come into act. We have 57 firms that are already ready to go. The banking industry has already changed. Many people are already, unfortunately, receiving layoffs due to artificial intelligence. In the banking industry, just a couple of months, we saw that the mortgage lenders department was laying off in preparation of the housing market cooling down as well. So the Federal Reserve announced yesterday that 57 firms are certified, right? Certified, and they're ready to go to utilize Fed Now instant payments after it launches in late July. Again, that is supposed to launch July 30th. The Fed did not provide a specific date for the launch. Again, I've heard July 30th. But 41 banks and 15 service providers. And here's his name again, as the anniversary 111 of Titanic is here. And JP Morgan name is continuously, even in his death, of this is through family generational, banking system that has been passed on. And this including the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers as well. JP Morgan and Chase Bank is mentioned here. You also have, of course, the big banks. They're not going to go under, right? You got Bank of America. You have U.S. Bank, Wells Fargo has completed testing. And I don't offer suggestions much, but if I were to offer suggestions, again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm not your fiduciary. However, if you want to know if your banking system will be affected, you can simply make a phone call, because if they are on the Fed Now system, that means that whenever the central bank's digital currency kicks in, you will not have a choice. You will be on that system. When the central bank's digital currency kicks in, you will have a set amount of days, 30 to 90 days, to spend the allocated amount that's in there. You may possibly not be able to even purchase Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies or silver and gold, any type of sovereign that takes you out of the system. Those purchases can very well be rejected. And so while you still have an opportunity to get out of the system and become sovereign and work with a decentralized cryptocurrency system that's outside of the government, you need no third party. I highly and strongly suggest that you do so now, because the IMF have already made an announcement that you will own nothing and be happy. On the flip side, I know we're dealing with all economic news. The Ford CEO, auto industry is changing, according to Ford CEO. We are ready to work with UAW union to reach a new deal. Ford is in the process of laying off workers as well. This will definitely affect the transportation industry as well. So this summertime, like no other, we would sit down with the new leadership, according to Ford CEO, the United Auto Workers Union, to negotiate a new contract to represent employees. We at Ford are proud of embracing our workers' right to collective bargaining and working with UAW. We share common goals, reaching a deal that allows us to stay ahead of changing industry landscape, protecting good paying jobs. However, and continuing innovation, everything is about innovation and affordable products. So this year, right, plans to add more than hopefully 62, but this is new union manufacturing jobs. This is by Ford. Now, they're converted temporary or hope to convert temporary employees to full-time status. But at the same time as they're adding jobs, they're also getting rid of jobs as well. And they're saying that this is due to C-19. They're also suggesting that they will give inflation bonuses. How many of you all at your job, whether you're watching this live in the replay, how many of you all are getting inflation bonuses? That's up to $1,500 a year. And this is why I'm asking, because if you are not getting inflation bonuses, you need to inflate your money for yourself. Robert Kiyosaki emphasizes that savers are losers, meaning that if you're saving your money, it is losing its purchasing power. The price of gas has pretty much stayed stable. You're going to see a little dip savings over the 4th of July holidays, travel. That's what the government does. That's the game they play. As Dick Gregory says, whether it's Memorial Day, whether it's Christmas, whether it's Thanksgiving. Now, I don't participate in those holidays because I understand the financial game that they play in order to get people to be consumers and spend their money. I'm not against spending time with family. I'm not against traveling. I'm not against enjoying life, but it is strategically planned, right? January is New Year's. For people that do not understand how this is set up, February is Valentine's Day. March is spring break. April, June, Father's Day, and then in Mother's Day, and in June they've added Juneteenth, and then St. Patty is when in March. Yeah, St. Patty's, and then you have to look at May, Mother's Day, and graduation. Right, this is not including birthdays and anniversaries yet. Then July they have the 4th of July. August is back to school. And then September, you have and October is Halloween, September, Labor Day. Now they even give you President's Days, all of this. October, Halloween, then we have to include Thanksgiving and Black Friday. And then November and November is Thanksgiving, Black Friday, whatever other Black and blue events that they have. And December is Christmas. So it's systematically set up that at least once or twice a month that they're going to have something to celebrate so they can take consumers' money and people can continue to spend and not grow their money. Thank you, Monique, for Cyber Monday, because I don't participate in it, so I don't really know. You have to keep, kind of keep me in the loop. Strategically plan that way. And people file for it once or twice every month. Now, this is what I said earlier. I just want you to see it. The Supreme Court strikes down Biden's student loan forgiveness plan, blocking debt relief. Again, this is supposed to kick in August. Student loan forgiveness. So, Supreme Court said no to that, as well as, and then we're going to get into market crash is on the way. Now, you may be thinking, well, I do not invest in stocks. Well, if you have a 401k, you do. If you have a pension, you do. And this is what, if you have a 401k or pension, you invest in stocks. And most people, and I don't understand why the mindset is so different, but for most people, because they have their crypto apps on their phone and they check it religiously, they are afraid of crypto because they have access to it, but they're not afraid of their 401k and pension because out of sight, out of mind, they do not have access to it through an app on their phone. Monifa, that's what's up. Yes, we do. I've been doing much better since I surrounded myself with millionaires, and that's the name of the game. You have to surround yourself with people that you want your future self to become. I do the same, Monifa. I'm surrounded by multimillionaires and millionaires as well. One of my favorite sayings is to pay any price, to stay in the presence of extraordinary people. Most people never invest in themselves so they can have the opportunity in the conversations and the cash flow conversations and the mindset conversation and the personal development conversations that they need to get out of their financial rut, their spiritual rut, and their personal development rut as well. Yes, pay any price to stay in the presence of extraordinary people. So stock market gains are entirely concentrated in the Magnificent Seven. That could mean a crash is coming. It's been such a let me see. Oh, I'm reading something else. Magnificent. I don't know why they compare it to the Magnificent Seven though. Have you heard of Magnificent Seven? I know the number 7 means divine transition, right? But the most dominant stocks on the market, analysts said, can't stop fawning over. I don't fault them. This list of top marketers is veritable who's who of household names. You got Tesla, Alphabet, Apple, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon. This handful of big tech stocks have accounted for nearly all the market gains, just this handful. NVIDIA, for its part, reached $1 trillion, valuation for the first time ever last month, and Tesla has seen a climb of 137% this year. Microsoft, Apple. I just combined an Apple and Microsoft, right? I said Applesoft. Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, Amazon all have climbed between 35-55%, with Apple on the brink of becoming the first ever company to hit a $3 trillion valuation. Now, I want to ask you all this. How would you be? What better position would you be in if you knew about these stocks, these .com stocks in the 90s? What if you knew about Apple, Microsoft, Time Warner in the 90s during the .com bubble, and you got in at pennies on the dollar? Well, guess what? If you didn't know then, you have that same opportunity now. Thank you, Miss Howard. Let me read your comment real quick. And now let's get into cryptocurrency. Being connected to Queen, total change. Oh, thank you, Miss Howard. I thank you for taking time to show your appreciation. It is so heartfelt, and wholeheartedly I receive it, and I am so grateful and humbled by that. Those kind words. Thank you so much. So we got BTC. It did touch 31,000 today. Earlier today, we see it now at 30,000. So it took a little cooling off. Ethereum was up 5%, almost hitting 2,000. We got some other cryptos, Litecoin. We having a Litecoin halving that is at $106. Litecoin is up 26% today. So big pumping, big news happening with the halving of Litecoin. Great news for Litecoin. I don't talk about Litecoin that much. It's not like one of my favorites. However, it had the reputation of being digital silver to Bitcoin's digital gold, as Bitcoin is getting back in the green. And so, hey, if you got in early at Litecoin, I'm sure you're enjoying your gains. It's at $106 right now. You have Chainlink, the Oracle, right? One of the ones that I love that's up 7%. I love the Oracle so much. Positive things with Chainlink. I also love Polygon and Matic is up 5%. And so these are just some of your crypto tokens, but the biggest gains, the darkest greens right now seems to be Litecoin. And again, Litecoin halving is coming within the next couple of weeks. But hey, check out Solana, as blacks are asking for reparations, right? Up 8%, almost 9% as I'm talking. $19 for Sol. I definitely like Sol as well. And you all, if I can do a drum roll, right? This crypto is definitely at a discounted price when you want to have a perpetual income flow, right? When you want to have perpetual profits, royalty income coming in for the lifetime with a minimum guarantee of 10 years, right? 10 years. You're talking about generational wealth. I talked about earlier with the reparations in California that stole generational wealth. This is the way, as they would say in the church that I used to attend, that if the thief be found, you got to find the thief. You got to find who stole your money first. This is scripture. If the thief be found, he must return to you. What is it? Is it 7 times more? Let me make sure. Right. So as I was going to say, taking back, and I don't believe in someone stealing from people. Or taken back from the devil or whatever. Proverbs 6:31. But if he is found, he must restore 7 times. Why did I forget 7? 7, divine transition, right? And he must give the whole substance to the house. I think a lot of people, like, the devil is not even omnipresent. A lot of people are blaming the devil about things, and I'm pretty sure the devil is like, well, I'm not even omnipresent. I believe that your subconscious mind represents the yin and the yang, the good and the bad, the good and evil that we all have in us is within us, right? And so once you learn to grow and go within, either you learn to go within or you're going to learn to go without. So this is on sale right now, people. This is drip. This is backed by water projects, purification of water projects. It is a decentralized, eco-friendly blockchain technology networks that gives distribution channels, and it includes also other project tokens such as agriculture, bauxite, that's aluminum, crude oil, gold, all physical commodities, real estate, distribution channels, and natural gas, just to name a few. This is through the Debtbox, the eco-friendly system, right? That means they're leaving their carbon footprint in the world, doing very great things for the earth and its economy. And this is supported by physical water production people, revolutionizing the water industry, whether it's retail packed water, purified water, spring water, sparkling water, distilled water. I was just having a conversation with a friend, and we were talking about that there is nothing that can survive without water. So bringing it into the world of crypto, the water industry, you all, is currently valued at $342 billion and expected to increase 5%, 5.24% per year from 2024 to 2027. So why will the increase happen? Because of higher demand for drinking water, increased health conscious and consumers. This drip project is closely working with partners to ensure that a portion of our water sales be used to drill wells. You all, I don't know if you all remember this, but I remember my great grandmother and that generation and great great grandmother and great great grandfather drank well water from the well from their homes, and they were much more healthier. You get this bottled water now with so much plastic and impurities, right? So this is going to benefit the world from clean drinking water, using this to drill wells. Now, again, the license is started out at $7,500. Right now, it is on sale, you all, for $750. And this is perpetual profits, residual income with a guarantee of a minimum of um, 10 years. And this is what I tell people, right? What if you would have known about Bitcoin, which is a commodity, deemed commodity itself, when it was pennies on the dollars, before it reached a penny? Because you have so much future growth potential when you get in early, when you know about projects like this that are in the pathway of growth, when you are an early adopter, you have so much potential, massive upside. And so with this, passing on generational wealth, and you're leaving a legacy while you're living a legacy at the same time. So that's $6,750. If you appreciate going back to school sales, if you appreciate Louis Vuitton, Gucci, a sale on a vehicle, if they gave you $6,750 off the sticker price, I'm pretty sure I know you appreciate this. So text CC to the number at the bottom of the screen so you can get these perpetual cryptos that have so much potential future profits to be gained due to these massive upside. And let me read these comments real quick. Right, your inner world creates your outer world. I definitely agree. Most people try to fight from the outside in. It's something that they are blaming external when the real fight is internal. Your mind, your emotions. It's called your beloved. I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prosper. Most people don't know the difference between their soul and their spirit. Your soul is your mind, your will, and your emotions. Right? Your soul has to prosper. Your soul has to prosper. Now, this is my portfolio valued at 108,000 or 108,913,000. These are all of my tokens that I have. These, again, commodities, cryptos backed by real world projects. If it's not backed up, you all in the crypto world is probably made up. Commodities have been wealth since biblical times, before the cockroaches, and commodities will always be wealth. As OPEC beginning tomorrow is going to short millions of exchanging of oil being shipped to the United States, you have black gold. The very first thing you need to realize when growing your money is supply and demand. When the supply is cut, the demand is higher, making the value and the potential upside future looks very bright. You have Debtbox changes coming to this tomorrow, July 1st, implemented over the weekend. This is decentralized, eco-friendly blockchain technology. It acts as a utility token that connects all of these commodities. So in essence, and there are also licenses available to purchase while they're available. They have sold out before, and once they sell out again, we don't know if or even when they will be available again. So they do have some available now. This is the utility token that connects everything. When you think of that, I want you to think of an Ethereum that is the mind, the brain of the global crypto system. Or think of a BNB coin, a utility token like Binance. And imagine if you could have got in on these at $13, because that's approximately the price for the debt, or what is priced at right now for that debt token. You also have natural gas projects and support with natural gas, as petroleum gas may increase in pricing. Natural gas is used to make petroleum gas as well. Agriculture, I've been telling you all that Kansas has a wheat shortage. Brazil has a wheat shortage. Um, Texas had cattle to die. We're having extreme heat conditions right now. And so, this is harvest season with crops. We have a corn shortage right now that's used to make fuel and to feed cattle. So having a crypto that's backed by high yielding agriculture, again, you all understand supply and demand. You sell ice in the summer and wood in the winter, and you have crypto that's backed by commodities when you're having a commodities war between Russia and China and the United States and Saudi Arabia and OPEC. Let me say that again. You sell ice in the summer and wood in the winter, and you have crypto backed by commodities in July, when the greatest wealth transfer in human experience is happening. Because World War III will be a commodities war. And then you have aluminum. Again, it's bauxite, over 10,000 acres of aluminum in Ghana and Africa. You have beverage. This is backed by tea, coffee, the top two beverages drank globally, water, energy drinks, right? Mining company right here. This is blocks. This is commercial real estate. People, this is having real estate in the metaverse. When you learn and when you take action to get rich in the metaverse, you will be rich in the universe. But you don't have to have a rentor. You don't have to do rehab, and you don't have to do renovations. You purchase the software and the hardware, and you sit back and you allow your tokens to grow, and you wait for your massive potential gains to happen. It is simple, but it's not easy, because people, their mindset get in their own way. This does not require a high skill set. You purchase and you hold. That's it. It's the mindset. Again, drip on sale now from the regular price of $7,500 to now $750. I've talked about that earlier. And this is digital gold. This is not gold that is backed by gold, or crypto that's backed by gold. This is gold that is linked to gold. That means you can convert your tokens and receive the physical, real gold, real money. It makes no sense to have 100% of government's money, of man money, and 0% of God's money. Gold and silver will be used to reset this currency system. And the shortage of silver and copper will drive those to all-time high. So that's why you see the website Millie Moves to get more information as well. Last but not least, this is DCM. This is the crypto token that uses natural gas to mine Bitcoin. Anyone that knows about Bitcoin mining know that that's a very expensive project to take hold of. It's very expensive. It's not very eco-friendly. It uses so much electricity in the universe. It gives out so much carbon dioxide. So we're reducing the carbon dioxide, leaving a carbon footprint, reducing the carbon dioxide in the air, and being friendly to the economy. They're saying that, this is the reason why we're experiencing extreme heat, because of destroying of the ecosystem and pollution of the ecosystem. And so people, you get airdrops, wrap BTC, Bitcoin, from the DCM project. This is available. I think it may be still available. I'm not sure. Last weekend for $750 as well. Let me log in my website to see if it's still available. And my question to you all is, what other options do you have right now? They're showing you that Fed now is being launched, the technology to bring in this new currency system. They're showing you, they're telling you about central banks, digital currency. They have to get rid of their karma because they know karma happens, right? They're telling you, they're not even telling you in code. It's just some people that still haven't awakened to the fact that we're changing to a new digital system. People, after what happens after regression, I mean, what happens, progression is regression all the times. After progression comes recession. There has to be a cooling off period. And then in this case, as the United States is over $32 trillion in debt, it has to be a resetting period. Yes, you can still get DCM flash sale for the next 48 hours as well. And that's getting airdropped of BTC, wrap BTC, Bitcoin people every month. Flash sale for the next 48 hours and make available a limited number of licenses at the lowest pricing available. This was also regular price $7,500. The sale price is only available to first-time buyers. Inventory is limited, and sale pricing is only available while the inventory lasts. People, there is a limit to only one DCM per account per household. Those are still available. Text CC to get in, whether you want to get drip or DCM while they're on sale or both. But position yourself for the greatest wealth transfer. Again, what other option do you have? Understand supply and demand. Understand what's going on in the commodities world. Prepare you and your family or your loved ones against the upcoming prices and the cut of OPEC and oil, and prepare for the greatest wealth transfer. Be on the prosperity side, you all, not the poverty side, right? Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend. I may do some more live stream, but if you are preparing, enjoy, spend your time with family, relax, do whatever you got to do, whether you're going to be at the beach or whatever, or behind a barbecue grill, right? Just enjoy yourself, relax, and be excited about cryptocurrency. Be excited that you know, and position yourself accordingly, people, because this is the only opportunity that most people have that they won't leave a legacy that says that I only went to work, paid bills, loved on people, and died. No, you want to do more than go to work, pay bills, love on people, and die. You want to receive the rich substance of the universe. Why is that? Because you are the greatest commodity that God has made. You're greater than gold. You're greater than silver. You're greater than crude oil. You're greater than aluminum. You are the greatest commodity that God created. However, make sure you invest in the commodities that will bring wealth, right? There's a scripture in the Bible says that wealth and riches shall be in my house. So that wealth and riches shall be in your house. You all have a great evening. Hit that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to me on YouTube. Queen out.